to our intelligence. I think people, especially for me, as a woman who, I'm sorry, what you said?
Go ahead, let her talk.
There it goes right there. The willingness to pop off at a drop of a dime. This is the attitude that comes with so many sisters. And hey, I would even argue to say it started with the feminist movement. What's going on, YouTube? Today we are back with another reaction video for you. This one is by none other than Candace Owens. Candace Owens versus these feminists. Now, a lot of people in our community do not care for Candace Owens. But when it comes down to her talking about the breakdown of the family structure, the breakdown of the Black community, and why we are not together, I believe a lot of us need to take a good listen to what she has to say. Her political standpoints, yeah, we could arguably say we could agree to disagree on those. But when it comes down to feminism and the Black community, man, she is right on target. Anyways, I'm gonna let her cook, and I'll be back to give my point of view.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. So I noticed you had a lot of thoughts on feminism. I'm a feminist, but
Really
I was
fine.
just wondering, how do you differentiate between the extremism that exists in feminism as it does across, multiple different ideologies, but how do you differentiate between the extremism and how, feminists like me think? I don't hate men.
It's a great question, and I'm glad you asked it. It's a great, great question. So what you have to realize about the left when you talk about extremism is they hack words that once had real meaning, and they take them for their own nefarious goals, right? So they'll say racism, and you'll go, oh my God, no, really, racism used to exist, but now it means organizing your pantry. That's obviously not racism. That's completely ridiculous. You see something like feminism, and once upon a time, women were fighting for the right to vote. Well, now we have that. We have equal footing. And now they're using those terms. They're hiding behind the shield of feminism, and they're doing actually horrible things in society. And I blame feminists for almost every ill that we have right now, because they've encouraged people not to act as a woman, and they bash men all the time. And I think that they have contributed the most to the breakdown of family in terms of an ideology. Now, for you,
answer my question.
no, I'm getting there.
Okay.
Now, for you, you're like, okay, but I actually am somebody that just believes in equality, that there should be equality between the sexes, right?
I think it's more culturally and socially, not necessarily in the realm of legality.
Sure.
Socially and acceptably, not in the form of legality. Now, you gotta think about that. What does that even mean? When it comes down to the feminist movement, the whole point of it was for equal rights. That's how it started. Women wanted equality, right? So women fought for the right to be able to vote, for the right to be able to work, for the right to be able to make equal pay, which is all a great thing. But what feminism has turned into is a whole different thing. So even if we had to deal with the third and fourth wave of feminism, now it's all about the alphabet community and the breakdown of families, if you ask me. So what exactly is this young lady talking about? Now, how is she not accepted in any type of way? And even rights-wise, women have way more rights than men. So I'm curious to know what's gonna happen. This is a blind review. I've never seen this whole interview. I just saw a little topic of it and I wanted to get on top of it. So let's see what she has to say.
So I'm going to ask you, what is it socially? So you could call yourself something, right? That means that there's some fight that you have. What is it socially that you and I have as women that we don't have that men do? Why is there a need for you to be a feminist?
I think as women, we are undervalued when it comes to our intelligence. I think people, especially for me, as a woman who, I'm sorry, what you said?
Go ahead, let her talk.
There it goes right there. The willingness to pop off at a drop of a dime. This is the attitude that comes with so many sisters. And hey, I would even argue to say it started with the feminist movement, because that is not a feminine trait at all. You was ready to pop off and you didn't even really hear what the person said. Just speak your piece. You're talking. Who cares what the hecklers are saying? Do what you need to do. But the problem is it comes with that, I feel like I'm not heard. But anyways, let's continue with the video.
For me, as a woman, I feel like a lot of people look at me and think I'm superficial. They think I'm vapid. They don't necessarily see that I could be intelligent, that I could speak for myself. They tend to automatically...
Guys, don't be rude. Go ahead.
I tend to get belittled a lot, and that comes from men, not necessarily women, right?
So you're saying in your personal capacity, men are belittling you, right? But when you talk about affecting actually a social change, this might be your personal experience, but does that mean that all women are going through this, or that all women are experiencing this belittlement by men?
And see, I understand that, but I think also when I listen to you speak, and you speak on why you don't like feminism, I hear a lot of anecdotal work, and I hear a lot of personal experience, like your experience in that one class that you had, whereas I've had 5-6 classes in my gender studies courses, and I've never experienced anything
that's totally
like that.
That's
ever.
totally fine.
You know what I mean?
They're
so
just
I just don't feel like it's fair to take personal
it's totally fine. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm actually talking about the real world consequences of the dangerous ideology telling women that they have to take their clothes off, that they should be on TikTok. I'm talking about real world consequences.
Yeah,
I'm talking about literally the fact that women are no longer, like, they're by and large all climbing the corporate ladder, and that children are being ceded over to the state. So I was giving you an anecdotal example of what happened in my feminist class, but the repercussions of that are seen everywhere. What I am saying is that what I'm offering to you is not to feel like you have to give yourself an ism, right? Don't feel like you have to put yourself in a box. Don't feel like you have to put yourself into some weird social constructs. I think that what you'll find with time is that it constrains you unnecessarily. I don't have a problem with the fact if you want to identify as a feminist and you think that there is some fight that needs to be ended. I don't personally think that that's...
Is conservatism not a box any more than feminism is?
Well, saying that I have conservative principles, feminism is not being a conservative or being a liberal, right? You're talking about an ideology, right? A system you think
I would assume conservatism is also an ideology as well, is it not?
Sure. Conservatism is an ideology. These are the things that we believe. You could say that everything is an ideology. What I'm saying to you is that I would not necessarily paint yourself into a corner. You don't seem to me like you have any issues speaking up. You don't seem to me like you feel like you're constrained in any way. You're standing up here today. I would offer to you that there's never been a more remarkable time to be a woman in this society. By every statistic, we are doing better than men. That's a fact, right? Men have a higher, we are graduating at a higher rate than men. Men have higher suicide rates. That's why I said to you, despite how you're feeling, what are the real world implications that suggest to you that you are somehow beneath men? You might have a personal experience where a man...
we can talk about sexual assault everywhere, in the military, in the home. So are these the things that you're fighting to end sexual assault? Of course, yeah.
Okay, great. You don't have to be a feminist to fight to end sexual assault.
You don't have to be,
men and women.
Yeah,
What a great way to cook, Candace. You don't have to put yourself in no type of box to go out there and fight what you believe in. The whole point is if you know that something that you are claiming has a really bad extremism to it, why are you choosing to claim it? What you're fighting for is pretty much a thought. At the end of the day, you're talking about being a conservative or liberal is the same type of isms. No, it's not. You can be a liberal and not have to claim something, just like you could be a conservative and you don't have to go far right. The whole point is when you put yourself in a feminist box, you are now saying that whatever feminism believes in, you yourself are fighting for those causes. If you're fighting for women don't have equal rights, prove that. Because like Candace said, women have every right today that men have. We go to jail more. We have a high incarceration rate. We could commit the same crime and men will serve more time than its women's counterpart. On top of that, we have a very high suicide rate. We also suffer from all types of illnesses far more than women because we have to go out and usually build this world. We're stressing, we're dying, we're going through it far harder than these women. While these women are at brunch, while these women are hanging out with their girls trips, they do whatever they want to do. But yet and still, they seem to be fighting for a cause that they have nothing to do with. You want to fight against women getting SA'd? Fight against women getting SA'd. But do not call it feminism. But anyways, I thought this was a good roast. I call it a roast because Candace went in on her. She really had nothing to say, homegirl, and she had no real rebuttal. It was just like, and you had the mic. So if you really had a point to prove, that was your chance to prove. But anyways, I'm gonna end this right here. Like, comment, and subscribe. Stay in tune. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.